Now, it was indeed a rarest of the rare moment in world politics as sworn enemies, Iran and the U.S., engaged in a high-profile prisoner swap. Iran released a Chinese-American student named Wang, who was detained in Iran since 2016. 3 years back, Wang had visited Iran for an academic research project, but he was arrested and accused of spying under the garb of research. In 2017, he was convicted on the same charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Both Wang and his family had categorically denied the charges. In exchange for Wang, the Americans released an Iranian scientist, Masoud Soleimani. Soleimani is a domain expert in stem cell research and regenerative medicine and was arrested by U.S. authorities in 2018. The U.S. alleges that Soleimani tried to export biological materials to Iran in violation of the sanctions imposed on them, a charge that Soleimani denies. Foreign Minister of Iraq, Javad Zarif, accompanied Soleimani during the prisoner swap. The freed scientist, however, had some harsh words for the U.S. establishment, saying that the Americans are scared of Iranian knowledge.
این نشون میده که بغض و کینه اونا به ما نسبت به چیزای علمی اونا دانش ما میترسن، اونا هیچ ما نمیترسن. به خاطر همین بعد تا اونجا که میتونیم خودمون رو قوی کنیم تو بحث‌های علمی که ان شاءالله بتونیم چشم دشمن رو ان شاءالله کور کنیم.
The middleman in this landmark prisoner swap was Switzerland. It was in Zurich that the prisoners were swapped by the two warring countries. Both Javad Zarif and the U.S. State Department thanked the Swiss government for enabling the operation. Donald Trump seems to consider the prisoner swap as an indication that there is still a possibility of peace between the two countries. He thanked Iran for what he termed as fair negotiations. Iran's foreign minister, however, was much more guarded in his remarks. Javad Zarif said that he was glad both the men would soon be back with their families, but at no point thanked the U.S. administration. He later said that Soleimani's American jailers were enraged by his scientific prowess.
با تبادل یک زندانی آمریکایی که به جرم جاسوسی در ایران زندان بود و بر اساس رأفت اسلامی امروز صبح مورد بخشش قرار گرفت و به آمریکا بازگشت و در برابرش ما این استاد بزرگوار رو امروز در ایران داریم. بیشترین چیزی که این زندانبانان و قضات و دادستان‌های آمریکایی رو به ویژه عصبانی می‌کرده میزان دستاوردهای علمی ایشون.
In the meanwhile, Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives met behind closed doors to prepare for what could be the final week of the months-old impeachment inquiry against U.S. President Donald Trump. The House Judiciary Committee released a report ahead of Monday's impeachment hearing, laying out the historical arguments for impeachment. While the report does not accuse Trump of impeachable offenses, it lays the groundwork for Monday's hearing. Monday's hearing could be the most crucial in the months-long impeachment saga, where evidence against Trump will be presented by the House Intelligence and Judiciary Committees. There could also be a possible introduction of articles of impeachment. Now, the Judiciary Committee report will focus on two possible articles of impeachment. The first accuses President Trump of abuse of power in his dealings with Ukraine, where he asked the Ukrainian president to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden. The second is the obstruction of Congress for refusing to cooperate with investigating committees.
This Constitution.
Again, we're pursuing this in a scrupulously equal, fair, open, and transparent way. That's the reason we're so disappointed that President Trump has decided to break with every other president who's gone through this process in deciding not to come and participate. He has denounced it as a hoax, as a fraud. He said it was BS a couple of days ago. He should come forward and explain what he thinks is a hoax or what he thinks is a fraud.
The report now released is an update to the previous Judiciary Committee reports that were issued in 1974 and 1998 during the impeachment proceedings of Presidents Richard Nixon and Bill Clinton. Trump will be the fourth U.S. president to face impeachment proceedings. None were removed from office, although Richard Nixon resigned as he faced almost certain impeachment in 1974 over the Watergate scandal. Earlier, the White House had refused to take part in the impeachment hearings, calling them baseless. In a letter sent to the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, it urged Democrats to end this inquiry now. Meanwhile, Trump continued to call the hearings a hoax.
Well, I don't know. I know this, that the impeachment thing is a total hoax. The numbers have totally swung our way. They don't want to see impeachment, especially in the swing states. They've swung our way. I've never seen a swing like this because people realize it's a total hoax. We had a perfect conversation. It was only a conversation. Nothing came out of the conversation except good relationship with Ukraine. And the people see that it's just a continuation of this 3-year witch hunt. And I'm looking forward to seeing the IG report. I hear they're announcing it on Monday.
So what's next for the 45th President of the United States? The Democrats are keen to hold a vote on impeachment in the House of Representatives before the end of this year, with the prospect of a trial in the Senate as early as January. The impeachment motion approval needs a majority in the House of Representatives. The process will then only move to Senate, where a trial will be held. The Supreme Court Chief Justice presides over this trial. It's only after a final approval and a 2/3 majority in Senate that Trump can be removed from office.